Howdy-ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to the premiere episode of Let's Talk Oilers. So, right off the bat, we got big news. Evander Kane has been traded to the Vancouver Canucks for a fourth-round draft pick. Now, if anyone watched my previous Let's Talk video from earlier this week, I said we had to trade Evander. And I listed the reasons why, and I'll go over them again. But before that, just a quick message here. Hey all, just a quick mention here. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment on the videos you like. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, which helps me. Takes 2 seconds. So thanks in advance. All right, so Evander Kane got traded to the Vancouver Canucks for a fourth-round draft pick. That seems really low, but it makes sense. This was a salary dump. Vander made $5.1 million, had 1 season left on his contract, and he was probably not going to be re-signed because the league has him as a marked man. And we've seen this before. We've seen this with other Oiler players. Is once the league has decided that they are a marked man, they can do nothing right. And all they can do is hurt the team. I think the most glaring example of that was Dave Manson when he played for the Oilers. Dave Manson had a reputation league-wide. So there was one specific time where he did an open ice hit and he left his feet, but otherwise, it was actually a pretty clean hit, and he got, I believe it was a 10-game or a 15-game suspension for that. Now, since then, we've seen lots and lots and lots of players leave their feet, hammer from behind, put the elbow to the head, and they get 1 or 2 games. So that was a reputation suspension. That was not an action. And that's what the territory that Kane's started going into is he can't do anything out there without getting called a penalty right now. I said it in the past video, and I'll link to the video, but you can look at it. But Bennett on Florida was by far dirtier than Kane was. And I think Bennett got, 2 penalties all Stanley Cup final playoffs? Whereas Kane, he walked out on the ice and he looked cross-eyed at somebody and boom, he's in the box for 2 minutes. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's only going to get worse. The league has decided that they are going to try to, basically they're trying to run Evander Kane out of the league is what they're trying to do. They're okay with other far dirtier players. They've decided Evander needs to go. So I don't blame the Oilers for trading him. And yeah, I wish him the absolute best. Evander Kane was an absolute class act here in Edmonton. Just, there's no other way to put it. He came with a ton of baggage from San Jose. Accusations, which have all been proven false now, but at the time it cost him his job in San Jose. They released him with what they say was cause, but it's all been proven false. So we got him, we took a chance on him, and Evander Kane delivered exactly what we were asking him to deliver. He gave us his heart, he gave us his soul, and off the ice, he was nothing but a class act. So I wish Evander Kane all the success in the world, just not against my Oilers. I wish he had gone to a different team because Vancouver is my second most hated team in the NHL behind the Maple Leafs, but it's his hometown, so it makes sense that he wanted to go there. And they're not going to be a playoff team anytime soon, so the pressure's off. He doesn't have to perform at the highest level nightly. And he's coming off of I think he played spectacular in the playoffs. He was kind of quiet in the Stanley Cup final, but so was the rest of the team. The entire team stunk in round 4. Evander, I don't think he stunk. He wasn't all there. And I don't know, maybe that was the injury. He was off for the entire season. I mean, you look at Connor Brown, he was off for a season. It took him a full season before you started to see improvement from him, really. And he played great in the playoffs season ago, but the regular season, he was pretty hit or miss. Evander came back after being off the whole season and actually was pretty impactful right off the bat as soon as he came on the ice. Like I said, the league has it out for him. Even that injury was obvious. Evander was injured the whole season. And Florida, well, they were $20 million over the cap because of how they manipulated the salary cap. Yet it's Edmonton that the league wants to look into for manipulating the cap with Evander Kane, who was legitimately injured. It's hypocrisy. It's two different standards being applied. Marchand should have never been signed to the Panthers because the Panthers are $20 million over the cap. It's basically half or a quarter of a new team. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I wish Evander Kane the absolute best of luck and the most success that he can find in Vancouver, except when he plays against the Oilers. The other thing I want to talk about Evander is he's a superstar on and off the ice. It doesn't get talked about, but while he was injured, Evander Kane did charity work in the city here in Edmonton. And he was a superstar, just no other way to put it. He was a class act, and I wish every player showed as much class as he did and does in the community. So I want to read a news report, and I'll show you the report. But it's like, I don't think he gets nearly enough credit for the work he did off the ice. So we're not going to be hearing about Evander all that much anymore now that he'll be in Vancouver. So I want this to be what everyone thinks about as the final thing. Evander Kane helps more than 200 kids in Edmonton for Christmas. Still sidelined after a major injury in the offseason, but that didn't stop him from giving back to the community with an amazing gesture for over 200 kids in Edmonton. He deserves all our respect for it. Evander Kane underwent complex surgery in September of this year. That would have been last year, 2024. It's not often NHL players miss a full season, but Kane is reportedly not expected to return until March at best, which happened, meaning he will miss almost the entire regular season. Although he's not known for being a prolific goal scorer, Kane played a big role in the Oilers reaching Stanley Cup Finals last year, and his grit and tough playing style will be crucial if Edmonton hopes to make another push for the Cup in 2025. And it was. He played a crucial part up until the fourth round, but then the entire team stunk in the fourth round, so you can't blame Kane for that. Evander Kane's amazing gesture. But Kane's injury doesn't stop him from giving back to the community in Edmonton. With the Christmas season here, Kane held his annual Christmas shop early this year. It's the third time Evander Kane has done his Christmas shop, and this year he took more than 200 kids on a shopping spree in Edmonton. The kids got to meet Kane, talk to him, and hang out with him while they went shopping. Evander Kane does charity work on his own. So this is not paid for by the team. This is out of his pocket, which again, he is a superstar for this. If every millionaire hockey player did this, every single city in the NHL would be so much richer. And they got the money for it. Even the lowest paid players have the money to do this. So maybe not 200, but they could take 10 or 20 out of their own pocket. But since joining the Oilers, he's worked with the Edmonton Oilers Foundation and local sponsors. Kane did the same thing with other NHL teams and brought the tradition to Edmonton, helping kids have a great Christmas regardless of their financial situation. Kane said in a video on social media that the most heartwarming part of his Christmas shop is seeing how some kids use their gift cards to buy something for others instead of themselves. The best part of these nights for me is meeting and talking to some of these kids who take the money and gift cards and spend it on others, Kane said in a video on his Instagram. I mean, you heard all the bad about him. There's the good. That is a class act. And that is a class act that's going to be missed in Edmonton come this next holiday season. Vancouver's gain is our loss. So yeah, thank you, Evander Kane, for your time here. I wish you nothing but the absolute best, unless you're playing the Oilers, in your future endeavors. And the Edmonton Oilers and the city of Edmonton is richer for your time spent here. Best wishes and best travels. And that's the premier issue of Let's Talk Oilers. If you like the video, please leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders. Please comment. I encourage everyone to comment. It gets us interacting, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm. So please feel free to comment, and I try to reply to everybody's comments. And as always, Pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Bye.